Good morning. After New Year's Day was over, I was planning that following Monday to take down all my Christmas decorations and put them away. Well, that Monday morning at 6 a.m., I woke up with a splitting migraine and I couldn't even get out of bed or open my eyes until around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. When I finally was able to get up, I was definitely not well enough to go out and put away Christmas decorations and get it all organized and put out in the garage. I was a bit frustrated about that because I knew my next free time wouldn't be till the following Monday, and so my stuff would be left up and I would have to wait an extra week before I could get it put away. Why was I frustrated about that? Well, I had something I had planned on doing, and then those plans did not work out how I had expected or how I wanted them to. Have you heard of a poem by Robert Burns called To a Mouse? I remember studying it in English literature, and I don't remember enough about it to tell you too much, but I do remember one line, and I'm probably not quoting this exactly, but he says something like this in that poem: "The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry." What's he saying by that? Well, he is saying that we can plan all we want, but sometimes it just doesn't go how we planned. I was reminded of that poem that Monday morning when I woke up and knew that everything I had planned for my day would not be happening anymore. How about you? When things don't go how you wanted them to go or planned for them to go or expected them to go, does it ruin your whole day or maybe your week? How about the month? If it's something big, does it ruin your whole year? I know in 2020 things did not go how anyone had planned. Well, except for how God had planned. But did that ruin your whole year? I certainly hope not. My grandma, one of the sweetest Christian ladies I have ever known in my life, taught me a valuable lesson about this thought. When I was a little girl and we were getting ready to leave, I would always say, "Bye, Grandma, I'll see you tomorrow." And my grandma would always respond with the same response every time. And if anyone who is listening knew my grandma, you already know what her response was. She would always say, "Lord willing." No matter what I would say, her response was always the same: "Lord willing." "Grandma, I'll be at your house at 3 o'clock." Her response: "Lord willing, I will see you then." "Grandma, can I ride with you home after church?" "Grandma, can I ride with you after church to your house?" "Oh, Lord willing," she would say. "Grandma, I'll see you when I get home from college for Christmas vacation." And her response would be, "Lord willing." It was always the same. I never realized where she had even gotten that saying until I came across that verse when I was in college. Did you know that is in the Bible? Listen to this verse. "Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor, that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that." Did you notice that phrase in that last part of the verse? Ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. What is that verse teaching us? Well, the same thing my grandma learned from that verse and that she was trying to teach me. We can make all the plans we want, but it will only happen if it is the Lord's will. I underlined that phrase in my Bible and I wrote a smiley face by it and put "Grandma" right next to it because she lived that verse. That was her verse. She realized nothing could happen unless it was according to God's plan for her life. When you have plans with what you think your life should be and how you think your life should go, and suddenly things change, can we honestly say, well, that's the Lord's will? Can we accept that? That's hard to do because we want what we think is best for us. We must realize that everything that happens in our life is according to God's master plan. So instead of saying the other day, "I'm taking down my decorations on Monday," I should have said, "Lord willing, I'm taking down my decorations on Monday," and then I wouldn't have been so disappointed when it didn't happen. Now, I know that illustration sounds a little bit silly and petty, but we can apply that same mindset to bigger areas in our life. When you make plans to buy a house and you just know it's just the right one that you've always wanted, and then things fall through, Do you still trust that God is in control? That it was not his will for you at this time of your life? When you planned, when you were a kid and you got married and you said, I'm going to have 4 kids, and that was your plan, and you've had yet to get pregnant after, say, 8 years of marriage or something, do you still believe that that is in God's hands, in his time, according to his will? When you've worked out your whole 10-year financial plan and you have it all settled, everything's ready, right on track, and then 2020 hits and your husband loses his job or you lose your job or your hours are cut, you must trust the one who knows your finances. Whatever situation you are in, and there's so many different ones I could give, where things have not gone according to your plan, remember that it is going according to God's plan. So rather than getting upset, trust that he is in control. If the Lord wills, your plan will happen. If not, trust that he has a much better plan and be patient until it comes about. God is in control. Yes, even in 2021, just like he was in 2020, let our prayer be today, like David's prayer was thousands of years ago. But I trusted in thee, O Lord. I said, thou art my God. My times are in thy hand. Psalm 31, verses 14 through 15. I hope this thought has helped you today to just trust right now that everything is going according to God's plan and according to his will. I hope that this lesson I learned from my grandma years ago will help you throughout this week. And I will see you next week with a new lesson from the Word of God, Lord willing.